Homeless man who stabbed woman to death on Charlotte train may not stand trial. Posted by Ken Silva. In a story that has everything the partisan media wants in this country. A beautiful white woman was killed by a black man, so obviously race had something to do with it. And because it happened in a democratic city, that has something to do with it. The victim was from Ukraine, so that means the war there has something to do with it too. And while everyone is trying to find out how this story has something in it that fits their political viewpoint, nobody really knows what the attacker had to say about why he did this. And no one can explain why a judge would redact this much from emotion like this in such a high-profile story. But don't worry. The answer is a quick execution, so no more questions can be answered. And always more security powers in the hands of the state. And they'll call that justice to satisfy your emotional outrage at such a senseless crime. Speaker Johnson, Trump was an FBI informant who helped take down Jeffrey Epstein. Posted by Ken Silva. Johnson forgot to add that Trump was also a Batman-like superhero who was taking to the streets at night, hunting down Mossad agents in America. I'm pretty sure the Christopher Nolan trilogy based on that tale will be released before any record from the FBI that Trump was an informant. Michael Wolff can be brought in to write the screenplay, along with the intelligence agencies to be consultants, but they'll have to be listed as unnamed sources for plausible deniability purposes. And when someone as partisan and incurious as Jake Tapper refuses to foment your narrative, it's time to get better creative. Secret Service snipers didn't meet requalification requirements in 2024, posted by Ken Silva. It turns out that the counter sniper team for the Secret Service couldn't win at the squirt gun target game against a couple of kids at your local fair. And that's not even on a hot, slippery roof or whatever the excuse was in Butler, PA last July. Perhaps we can get them on some old school NES light gun games like Duck Hunt. That would allow them to shoot while standing, sitting, kneeling, and prone. We just need a couple $1 million in budget expansion for some wooden console TVs that swivel, and therapy for the ones who can't handle the dog laughing at them when they miss. Alleged would-be Trump assassin wanted witness to testify that he refused to spank her. Posted by Ken Silva. With another unprecedented legal maneuver, Mr. Ruth has done it again, showing all violent criminals that the best way to establish in court that you are not a dangerous assassin is to get your ex to admit that you refused to reenact the coat hanger scene from American Psycho with her when she asked you to. Lighters and wire hangers aside, I think the judge really dropped the ball gag on this one, not allowing us to see what kind of creature would have sex with Ruth, let alone want roughed up by him. I bet if she dressed up as Vladimir Putin, he'd still be donkey punching her for democracy. And because it's too late for Ruth to call President Trump as a witness, we'll never be able to hear him cross-examine Trump about if he too refuses to layeth the smacketh down when asked. We'll just have to wait for Trump's memoirs to come out to hear the answer to that one. Conservative influencers exposed for disseminating pro-India talking points, posted by Jose Nino. Partisan hacks are potentially bought and paid for? That sounds strange, doesn't it? I mean, that might explain why they talk about the same stuff all at once, have the same opinions, and always arrive at the same conclusions that their favorite political team will win the next big game and solve all the problems they got you all riled up about. For anyone who still follows these entities for information, try switching to something like Headline USA or antiwar.com for at least a month. Let your brain and your emotions grasp some other topics in a more objective way. Maybe even ones that can convince you to stop voting for the same thing to be done to you by either party, to not live and die by the outrage cycle of news, and to be able to experience a life without the anxiety of your favorite bill not passing or whatever creep not getting into office to do something on behalf of the people. Yeah, right. Maybe you'll see why the monster that is the state needs people like Drano to wash their sins down the pipes while you're distracted with their latest thing. I think that would do a lot of good for a lot of people everywhere, including India. Now where's my check, fools? Come back next week to see what makes the tape.